NFL All Day fans, this video is shot before Brady announced his unretirement, but the information on retirement players still applies. Enjoy the video. Welcome back to the Pro Sports Podcasters. This is the continuation of our NFTs on PSP series. We're looking at NFL All Day, and we've already covered a number of the defensive positions, but we wanted to throw in a little bit of a bonus for you here and talk a little bit about some of the rookie debuts that are available for Series 1 right now at a pretty decent price. We're going to cap this at $20 max. And I'm going to pass over to our analyst, Nii Wallace-Bruce, to get it started.
Thanks, Cobe. And thanks again for watching. So, as Cobe said, we got some rookies here from 2021. And these are guys who I've picked out who are going to shine for the rest of their career. So, not only in 2022, but beyond. But I get it. These are guys who we can also look at for challenges coming up in the next season. So, let's start off with a Canadian. The running back from Carolina, Chuba Hubbard. So Chuba had a pretty good season in 2021. He was aided by the fact that Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
That's right.
So he had to carry the load for the Panthers. And he did pretty well. So this is someone that I'm looking at to continue that. He does catch passes as well out of the backfield. He's pretty versatile as running back. What are your thoughts on Mr. Chuba Hubbard?
I like Chuba Hubbard, and I agree. He got a additional sort of push because of what happened with Christian McCaffrey last season, and what seems to happen with Christian McCaffrey every season. I love Christian McCaffrey. I personally think Christian McCaffrey is the single best player in NFL football.
I would say Aaron Donald, but anyway.
I like Christian McCaffrey, except that when you look at durability, it's just not there. And part of that is because this guy has total disrespect for safety. He does whatever he can to get the additional yard, even sometimes when it's not necessary. And that just means that they're going to have to use Chuba Hubbard more. They're going to have to. Even when they bring back Christian McCaffrey, they're going to have to spell him more often, maybe cap him at a certain number of touches. So Chuba Hubbard will get his, and he's proven that he can handle the load. So I think it's a good pick.
There we go. And a good pick by the Bengals last year was Evan McPherson.
So this is an interesting one. It's a kicker, right? It's a kicker. Now, granted, this guy gained instant fame over the playoffs, right? Instant fame. But people are going to look at NFL All Day. And I remember the very first time I started checking out some of the YouTube channels and some of the Reddit groups and such. And everyone's like, man, I hope to God I don't crack like a kicker or a punter. But you got to expect that kickers are going to be involved in challenges to some extent. Maybe not that often, but it's going to happen. And there's going to be a lot of kickers available on the marketplace that no one's going to want to touch, and they're going to keep going down in value because no one's going to want to buy them, and someone's going to want to get rid of them, so you've got opportunity there. And Evan McPherson being a rookie, and all these rookies are triple badge rookies, by the way. These are all rookie debuts. Okay, so they got 3 badges. You've got your all-day debut, your rookie year, and your rookie debut. So triple badge moments generally carry additional value going forward, and that's why we're highlighting these ones.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of basketball cards as a kid. You know, the rookie card was always the prized possession, so I guess we're applying the same logic here.
Exactly. So if you're going to buy a kicker, why not make it a triple badge?
Exactly, and a guy that took his team to the Super Bowl off his boot. This is a guy, he plays in a high-octane offense. Cincinnati's always going to be in position for extra points, and if not scoring touchdowns, then definitely field goals. And he has the accuracy to definitely be up the leaderboard when it comes to challenges involving kickers.
Now, granted, we're just a couple of NFL fans, NFL analysts that are telling you this information. We're going by the stats and what we've seen on screen, you know, watching the games, of course, watching the Super Bowl. But we've actually had a number of NFL players on the Pro Sports Podcasters podcast. And one of our recent podcasts had a kicker on. We had Liram Harilahu on, and we asked him, point blank, actually you asked him, who do you think would shine more in the Super Bowl? Because this was ahead of the Super Bowl when it came to the kickers. And although he did pick the LA Rams to win it, like I had picked from the very beginning of the season, he said McPherson is the real deal. Everything about how he goes about his business, the actual technical requirements in order to kick continuously flawless field goals. He's watched him as a kicker and said 100%. It's not a fluke. He's legit.
There we go.
And that was a great interview, by the way.
So definitely check it out. It's over at www.prosportspodcasters.com. Now, the third guy I want to look at in this series of rookies is a guy that isn't necessarily common. He's a bit off the beaten track. His name is Ihmir Smith-Marsette. He is a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings are interesting because they currently have Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. I suppose they keep him around. But
you don't have much option, right?
Indeed. But even if they move on from him, they're in a good position because Adam Thielen is getting on a little bit. Justin Jefferson is on one side doing his thing. Smith-Marsette can be the guy as a third option. Or even if they put KJ Osborne out there instead of Thielen. Thielen is over 30, by the way. I like Smith-Marsette's upside for the future. This is a guy that proved himself in college. I liked what I saw in the combine, and I like his metrics in terms of the future.
I like how you slipped in the age when it came to Thielen. Something people overlook sometimes when it comes to NFL football is that the careers of a lot of these players aren't very long. And 30 years old is significantly old in the NFL. So when looking at which moments to buy, we're highlighting a few for you that are great deals right now, but when you're thinking about spending more money, let's say you want to invest in some of the top players, you got to factor in their ages because some of the most popular players are basically at the end of their careers, and that's why they're so popular, right? In a previous video, we had talked about Ndamukong Suh, right? This guy is a bona fide superstar, but he's coming to the end of his career, so you got to be a little nervous about maybe investing in his moment if you're hoping to get utility out of it later on. It's different if you just want to buy someone who's a bona fide superstar and sit on it for who knows how many years because it's going to be the only moment that they have available, period, going forward. And this is the first moment ever printed, right? I wouldn't blame anyone for spending up on a Tom Brady right now if you're a fan of Tom Brady, right? If you see him as the GOAT, and a lot of people do, and he's announced his retirement, maybe, right? Then why not spend that little bit extra, get one of the, I think there's only 2 moments with Tom Brady that have been minted. If you can get that first one, that all-day debut moment, and just sit on it, you know it's going to be worth money down the line, 100%. It may not have utility, but it'll be worth money. So depending on what you're getting into this for, some of you might be for fun. Some, like myself, are going to be very interested in the challenge aspect, right? The gaming side of it. But I'm also in it for the investment opportunity. For me, this is a huge investment stake. I'm not someone who's going to get into Bitcoin late, but I can get into NFTs early. So I see it both from an investment standpoint and the gaming side of things, just because of the knowledge that we possess here at the Pro Sports Podcasters. And we're going to share that knowledge with you so that you can get the most out of it as well. But if you're an investor, by all means, buy the names.
Buy the names and enjoy the value. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. We appreciate that. And also follow us on social media. So you can find us on Instagram at pro.sports.podcasters. We're on Twitter at tpodcasters. And, as I mentioned before, our website is prosportspodcasters.com.
And when you get there, scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a sign up to be a PSP Insider. It's our newsletter. We basically pass on additional information that we don't share with just anybody. And some of our top tips will appear, especially when it comes to the NFTs, in the newsletter and future newsletters. So become a PSP Insider. It doesn't cost you anything. Just sign up.